One Semi, I'm back. Living the new COVID life. I've come to the realization that this is going to be the new normal. I hate using that word because everybody's using it, but this is going to be the new normal for the next 5 or 6 months. It's been 6 months now, and it's going to be another 6 months at least. Anyway, today we are talking Life Coach Sessions Episode 3. Love and relationships. How to eliminate the stress of love and relationships. There is no easy answer. There's difficult answers, but there's no easy answer. But I'm going to partake my experiences, what I have lived through my last 50 years. Okay? So, bear with me. Just walking to work. It is September 15th today, and let me tell you, I'm so happy. The government reduced the restrictions, which means we're now back at work full time. Students in class sessions for the next 2 weeks, but they have still kept, I think, call it 2.25. No group gatherings over 10 people. So, you know, even that means even house party. You know, I can't even have a house party. But that's to stem the group protests that are going to happen during the Chuseok holiday in 2 weeks. Anyway, I'm just glad to be back. How to eliminate the stress of relationships and love, marriage, and all that stuff. Well, again, I'm just providing information based on my personal experiences, what I've seen, what I've done, and what I've experienced. All right. I'm not, like I said, I am not a certified life coach. I'm just 52 years old, and I've lived in 7 countries, and been married, divorced, and done all that stuff. So I'm just partaking of my experiences. So let's talk about it. Before I do that, thank you to everybody who is subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting. Javier, I would just want to give a shout out to you, brother. Thank you so much for all the positive comments that you're giving. I really appreciate you watching and commenting. Thank you so much. And also on my Instagram. Thank you. So let's just keep it on this side till we get into the shade. So just as a background, I was married. I was in a relationship for 10 years, and 4 of those years I was married. So from the time I met her till the time I divorced was about 10 years that we were together. And she was in Canada, so it was about 20 years ago that we first met. I was about 29, 30, and I was 39 when we divorced. So I've been in a few long-term relationships prior to that. Post that, I have been single, 100%. Dated short-term, but I've been single. And therein lies the secret to my happiness. No stress is to have short-term relationships. If you go into something with low expectations, then you're not disappointed. You can't get your heart broken if you don't fall in love. And don't get me wrong, I am a romantic. I'm a hapless romantic. But I've just seen the crap and this, you know, for lack of a better word, the shitstorm of relationships that occur. People fall for the wrong people. People get involved and entangled, and then they can't get out. They're either financially entangled or emotionally entangled. And when I mean emotionally entangled, is there's a pride factor, because you don't want everyone to know that your relationship failed. So there's a pride factor involved, right? So At the end of the day, what you want is you want that perfect relationship, which doesn't exist. So let me tell you how I did it, or what I discovered. I had my first real girlfriend when I was about 21, 22. And she was 6 weeks younger than me. We were the same age, both club kids, both party people, both big, maybe I'll say egos, big personalities. And we're still friends today. Here's the funny thing, 30 years later, we're still friends. So she and I broke up because we had reached the end of our relationship. We were both young, and we were both not ready to go to the next step, which was at that point going to be marriage. So what we decided to do was end it and stay friends, which we did. Then I was 24 at that time, and I had a couple other relationships at that time. And when I was 28, I was thinking, I got to settle down. I was working my corporate job. I had good money. I was like, let's get this marriage, house, all that stuff. And I met my ex-wife at that time, and we started dating, and I just happened to decide, maybe this is probably the one. I don't want to say I was in love, but I thought it was the next step. Then what happened was we grew apart, and there was a big age difference. It was 11 years age difference. And I was 31, she was 20. That's when we started dating, when we moved in together and etc. I had already been living my life for 10 years, 12 years. I'd been doing what I wanted, making decisions, paying bills, doing all of that stuff, right? So for her to come in, and then she went from her parents' house to my house. So that we eventually, after years, we grew apart because she had not experienced her own growing up per se. So that was one of the reasons why I left and came to Korea, as I wasn't happy with my life at that point. I'd failed. Something I thought I was successful in, I'd failed. So I was not happy. So how does that relate to stress? Well, those relationships caused me a lot of stress. Financially, emotionally, socially, it caused a lot of stress at that time. I should have picked a quieter place to make this video. Anyway, so at the end of the day, at that time, I thought that's what I was supposed to do, but I wasn't doing it right. So it caused a lot of stress in my personal life. Now, fast forward to when I came to Korea. Definitely not getting into relationships because I'm a foreigner. I'm not going to marry somebody here. That's just not going to happen. So, and then being in the clubs and dating that side of it, I ended up being much more casual in my relationships, let's say. That's the right word to use. And I never expected anything. There's no expectation, there's no stress, there's no commitment. Now, I've said this before. Am I lonely? Yes. Am I happy? 100%. Because there is not a person out there that can say that their relationship is 100% happy all the time. Because that's not true. You have to compromise in a relationship. You get into arguments. You have stress. You fight. I don't ever want that. Ever. So that's my choice. Now, coming back to what I was saying is, how can you eliminate it? Well, you can stay single. You can be in short-term relationships. You cannot fall in love. How do you do that? Well, that's your mental ability, psychological ability to be able to do that. Hopefully it doesn't get too dark in here now. But if you can do it, then you can eliminate that stress from your life. That's how I did it. I basically found an outlet that allowed me to maintain a social life without getting too deeply involved. And yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Is it complicated? Yes. Is it doable? Yes. Can you do it? I don't know many people who I've spoken to who I've told about this that would agree with me. And I'm going to get a lot of people saying, no, don't do it. You need that relationship. But I mean, that's just personal choice. I will never be in a long-term relationship ever again. I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact. I've done it. I've said it. I've lived it. It's not going to happen. But anyway, that's my story. Comment, share, like, subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know down below. If you have any other life coach questions, let me know. Ichiwan Sammy. I'm out.